This was supposed to be my wedding night, but God had other plans. And just like that, the life I planned for went up into flames. But what I found in the ashes was me. Welcome to my channel, Alyssa So Savvy. I'm Alyssa and I am so grateful you're here. This channel is your new, soft, online sanctuary designed for the woman looking to reclaim her power, redefine her identity, and finally live life on her own terms. We're talking lifestyle, wellness, and glow up guides all in one place. So if that sounds like your kind of vibe, be sure to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you'll never miss when a new video is uploaded. All right, y'all. So before we get into today's story, I am so excited to share with you that I am going to be introducing a brand new signature series, my first signature series. The name of my signature series is called So Savvy Sips. And each week I am going to come to you with a new story, experience, or something that can explain my why as to why now at 44, I'm ready to rebrand and redesign my life and just become her. But also, I'm going to be sharing a different drink recipe with you. I'm looking forward to come with me on this journey. And if you're on the same type of journey, let's encourage each other and let's just be our very own online cheer buddies, you know? I never thought I'd be sharing this story, and especially sharing it so publicly. But one thing that I've learned as going on my healing journey is my experience matters, and it's just a part of my process. And if anything that I share today can help someone else, then I've done something really good with putting this story out there. To start, I never really broadcasted my wedding like most excited fiancés would do. You know, like sending out the save the dates, taking all the engagement photos, the engagement party, the blasts on social media. You know, we kind of kept it pretty mellow. And I didn't even invite all of my family, right? But after a long journey of ups and downs, as most relationships have, it looked like our relationship had finally turned a corner and it was just moving in the right direction. So we both decided that we were ready for that next step, and I agreed and said yes to a wedding. Now, one thing about God, and two things that is for sure, okay? Or maybe that saying is one thing is certain and two things for sure, or something like that. Anyway, my God, He is going to repeat a lesson until you get it. And baby, let me tell you, He kept repeating it and repeating it and repeating it for me until finally I fell down so hard and He hit me so hard, finally I understood the assignment. My ex-fiance and I, we spent so much money, time, and emotional energy in planning this wedding. I mean, I'm talking the venue, the food, the tux, the dress, everything, cake, flowers, everything was planned down to the finest of the details. All for a week right before the wedding, it was all called off. Now, I wasn't the one that called off the wedding. However, now I understand why it had to happen. At the time of all of this, of course, I was devastated. I was embarrassed. I was hurt. I was feeling all the things. I mean, I've had family fly into town. Some family I hadn't saw in years. And on my end, I had more family and friends who had come into town, booked hotels, Airbnbs, all of the things. And I really didn't know how to handle it. Honestly, I took guidance from the venue because there was a lot of money that was spent. my ex-fiance said that, he had already told his family that it was done and over with. So for the better judgment of just the situation, I decided to just wait and tell my family when they arrived. So my family arrived, and God bless my mama and my daddy. They made the announcement in front of everyone in the chapel to what they thought was going to be me walking down the aisle for a groom. Instead, I made an entrance with my nieces. Now, my nieces, they swear this was the best wedding they've ever been to. I mean, they were like 6 and 7, I think, or maybe 7 and 8. So I don't think they may have went to many weddings. Maybe this was the only one. And I had to tell them, no, baby, at a true wedding, there are two people that are joining together to be one. However, they loved the spotlight. They got to walk out to fireworks. They got to dance on a cloud. I mean, they danced all night. They took pictures. It was just the best time for them. So like I said, I still made my entrance after my parents had broke the news. But despite the hurt, the pain, the guilt, and the shame that I was feeling, my family and my friends, they were there for me. They danced with me, they laughed with me, they hugged me, they made me feel appreciated, and most importantly, they just celebrated me for being brave, for showing my face, and just pushing through despite everything I was feeling. Before my engagement and my wedding, I had done a great job of building a life for myself. I had lived in Austin, Texas for about 11 or 12 years. And when I got engaged, of course, I made the decision to leave a city that I love, to walk away from a career that I adored, and to leave the only school that I had ever taught at. This school made teaching and made education just such a beautiful experience for me. So I walked away from all of that. But at the time, I thought I was making a good choice. I knew in my heart that this was a new life I was making for myself, and I was ready to do that. However, when everything fell apart, lost my independence, and honestly, no self-esteem. So I spent the last 2 or 3 years, let's see, that was in 2023. So the last 2 years living in shame, living in doubt, living in pain, and just being stuck. My things have literally been stuck in boxes for the last 2 years. I had just been living off of just a few things from storage. Like I don't even remember what's in my boxes, to be quite honest. But God. It was like one day, God just whispered to me, this isn't rejection. This was all for your protection. And now it's time for your redirection. And when I tell you, God began to move in so many ways. I ended up getting a new job. And prior to me getting my new job, I only taught 3rd grade math and science. And I love 3rd grade. 3rd grade to me is just the sweetest spot in elementary to me. And I applied for this job, and I thought I was applying for 3rd grade, this new job, fast forward to 2024. And instead it was kindergarten. And I was just like, ooh, I don't know about this kindergarten. I did not want to teach kindergarten. But let me tell you something. When God is talking to you and when God is trying to move you, you listen. And that's what I did. And that was one of the best decisions I ever could have made, was taking that job. Those babies helped me more than they will ever know. And I would tell them all the time in class, y'all think that I am here for you, but really, God brought me because y'all were here for me. Those babies saved me. They helped me to just pick myself back up and just start wanting more and figuring out my identity again, and learning to love myself again. I had never taught reading, and kindergarten, I'm setting the bar to teach these babies how to read. But when I tell you, we did some of the most amazing, magnificent things. That year, my first time in that district, I was voted for super staffer the first month of the school year with a kindergarten class at a school and in a district I had never worked at before. My babies, they were just the sweetest, best. I can't even tell you how much those babies brought me so much joy, so much unconditional love. They just woke something up in me and made me feel so valued, so seen, so appreciated. And God knew that it was exactly what I needed. I was so afraid of the things that I was responsible for teaching my students, and we surpassed all of my fears. We even published a book. So that year, last year, starting that school, starting in a new city, just finally making a decision to get up and stop living in the pain and shame and start learning and growing from it. Despite everything that I've gone through, and no, I didn't get all deep into the particulars and what happened. I experienced a lot in my relationship, but I'm pretty sure the other person experienced a lot too. It was embarrassing, heartbreaking, and painful for us both. And I'm not here to smear anyone's name, but I did have some takeaways from everything that I experienced. This relationship taught me so much about myself. It taught me, and it brought to awareness the things that were buried deep down inside of me and the things that I really needed to start healing in order to become the best version that I could possibly be. Lesson number 1 is it taught me that I had to learn my self-worth. I had to learn my own value within myself. Lesson number 2, I had to learn to stop being a people pleaser and become a person who has boundaries, who is affirming what she needs instead of being aggressive and in a negative way, but assertively saying, this is what I need right now and this is what I'm able to give. The third lesson that this relationship taught me, and I'm gonna say those were like my biggest 3. So number 1, not having self-worth within myself. And that is also a lot of just self-love and loving myself. Number 2, no boundaries and being a people pleaser. Learning to say no. No is okay, and it is a form of self-care. But number 3, the biggest thing was being reflective and being accountable for my part. Because we all know that there are 3 sides to a sword. There's my side, the other person's side, and then the truth somewhere in the middle, right? And for me, I finally took my blinders off and started holding myself accountable for the things that I could have controlled and the things that I could have done differently. So now as I get ready to step, or as I am stepping into this new woman that I am becoming, these are some of the life lessons that I'm taking with me, and I'm holding my head up high. And I'm so grateful for my family, my friends, and my support system who were there to encourage me along the way.